Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Samin. Yeah, I'm sticking with your boy. Yeah, I just like the way it flows out. My man Mark was like, you don't overthink it. It just flows. This is where I'm from, son. This is be like 100 talking like this. But yeah, hey everybody, thank you for hanging out with me. It's your boy Samin, and I'm the host of the Sam Maya Show. I want to thank you very much for hanging out with me. It's Christmas Day or night, Christmas night. It's a couple minutes left. Thought I wasn't going to do it. I think I'm at day 85 or 6. It's kind of crazy. Um, I've done a few things this consistent. I worked out once for 376 days. That was brutal on the body. I've been in this program that I am. I've been sober, clean, abstinent with food, weighing and measuring my food for 17 plus years. Like nothing in between, nothing breaking the bond, nothing funerals, birthdays, graduations, weigh and measure every single day. So, I've done a couple things, but this is something I've been enjoying. But it's Christmas night. And a part of me was like, nah, just leave it alone. It's Christmas night, for God's sake. And I was like, well, you said you're going to do it. Just do it. So I'm doing it. I'm here. How's everybody doing? I wish I had a red hoodie just for right now. No, no, maybe not. Maybe a red something to be festive, but I don't. I do have about 3 of these, which I really, if you roll the videotape, I really enjoy them. I'm in Princeton. This is home of not Alfred Hitchcock, Einstein, Albert Einstein. This is his like hometown. Everything is about him. He's famous for wearing the same type of clothing, colors. That clothing wasn't important. He was just like, I'm brilliant. I don't have time to get dressed. I just needed to be the same. And which is where Steve Jobs, the late Steve Jobs, Apple, and Mark Zuckerberg, and I don't know about Jeffrey Bezos. People correct me. Same as Bezos. I'm like, did you name him? Why do you care? It's like when somebody corrects me when I'm singing a song, and they're like, no, that's not what it says. What are you, Shaka Khan all of a sudden? Did you write this? I like just what I think I'm saying. This is the song I've been singing my whole life. Why is it that you need to correct me like you get writer shit? So anyway, I wanted to talk about money because I had a conversation around money. It being this is the time when I think I've spent I spent a lot of money. I spent some bucks for science. I ain't had a fantastic Christmas. She says her best Christmas ever. Well, like the gifts that I gave her and the gifts that she received from her family, she's pretty good. The Switch. I got her the Switch Lite, right? Because we have the other one, but I got her the Lite, and then I bought this Mario Live card, so it's an actual RC car. So I have two. So because I have one for me. I'm Luigi. She's Mario. I say Mario. One day I was at her school, and I was waiting for her at this. It's called Stay and Play. It was after school. She would have been in 3rd or 4th grade. She's in 5th now, 3rd grade. And I was playing. the device, and all the little boys are gathering around me, and it's a little Pied Piper-ish. It's not, some of them I know, some of them I don't know, and I'm cool with a couple. So they were like, "Oh, this game is better than that game." I'm like, "No, it's not." This game is, and I'm like, "No, this game is the best one. The one you're talking about is not the. It's a good one. It's not the best one." And then the friends are like, "Oh yeah, it's kind of true. It's okay, but it's not better than that." But they were like, "So what character do you use in the Smash Brothers?" And I was like, "Well, I like Mario." And like a choir. They were like, "You mean Mario?" I'm like, "Yeah, Mario." Mario? And like 2nd graders are like correcting me. And I felt some sort of way about that. Like, what? This is anyway. So I'm Luigi. She's Mario. And the game is really fun because you drive the RC and you can see it on the screen. And yeah, I'm that person. I'm that person, right? I'm like playing. And I lost every race, so, but it's really fun. It goes around in the house, and they put up these tracks. And if you have a Switch, you like, oh my god, I think I saw that. I want it. If you don't play a Switch, you're like, dude, you're like 50. Why are you playing with games? But I get it in. So she had a really, she got bath bombs, and she asked for money. She got money on her, like she wanted an Amazon card. So I got to figure out a way that she can do her own thing, because I swear to you, I'll put something in the cart, then I'll look back and it'll be like 9 things in the cart. And I'm like, what? I know I put like 3 things in there. And I'm looking, and it's like books, pictures with frames. Like she's in there like, oh no, I want decor. It like for real, ottoman. But what are you designing? Without talk, why are we not having a conversation about this? She's just kind of like, it's in the cart. Just take care of it. I'm like, yo, babe, it's like $700 in the cart. She's like, well, I'm like, yeah, well, how much you got on that? So she had a great Christmas. I didn't want anything. I still ended up with a couple things, which were it's nice. And that was just about it. I was pretty good. So I was having a talk with a buddy of mine, and we were talking about money. It's always talking about money, right? And how much, how, what is it? What commerce? That's what we are. We consumers. Consumerism. That's what we do. Black money. He's really going in about. So we do is waste money that we don't have. And I'm listening. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, we buying our emotions. And he's preaching. I mean, he's not preaching like, oh God. He's talking that talk, and I'm like, yeah, that's I feel that way. I've mentioned that, and he's like, yeah. So what are we gonna do about it? And so how we torn between money, and money is the root of all evil. And I'm like, whoa, I don't agree with that. And he's like, what? You've been through things with money. I'm like, yeah, I have some whack things happen around money, but I don't know if money is the root of all evil. I think lack of money brings out people's evil, right? And so we really had to talk about that, because it was like, I'm like, yeah, I think lack of money brings out evil, and the idea that money can't buy happiness could be true. I mean, I've been miserable, got a couple bucks, and you could be miserable here in New Jersey, or you could be miserable in. It's always for me Paris, right? You could be miserable in Paris. I'd rather be miserable in Paris. But you gotta have money to get to Paris, or maybe Hawaii, where it's nice and warm, and the COVID rates are low. But it takes money to make that happen. So if you're miserable and you're broke, then yeah, it won't make you happy. But if you got a couple of bucks, you could do some things. You could be miserable and angry and tired jet skiing somewhere. But the lack of money has, in my experience, I've had people do things to me or attempted to do them to me, right? That was shocking. Like, an evil came out. It wasn't the money. It was the lack of the money. And to get the money, the action was evil. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, money didn't make that happen. Money didn't make that happen. Money is whole, perfect, and complete. It really is. It's like, I'm a $20 bill. You could buy some Coke with me. You could buy a Coke with me. You could buy a comb. You know what I'm saying? You could do anything you want. You could give me to somebody homeless. You could put me in the bank and hold it. You can do a couple different things with me. I'm a $20 bill, right? And depending on what the person is up to is what the action will be. I've been a part of a couple of those different scenarios with the $20 bill. Today is more like, oh, I'm going to spend you and I'm going to put you in my wallet and save you for later. So we had that. That was a really good talk. And that's always it's not a tender spot, but it's a space of, I grew up with that. It's a space of like paradigms. I grew up with that conversation around money. Well, money is evil. Money will make you money money is evil. You can't. Money doesn't make you happy, and it's sort of like a being hypnotized, like with this idea, which is I don't think is true. And I've also been hypnotized with other behaviors around money. Like I grew up without money. I grew up without money, so I had a poverty mindset for a very long time. And when I was in poverty, I didn't know I had a poverty mindset, right? I didn't know that the way I was thinking, the way I was raised, the conversations around money were conditioning my thoughts and creating like this idea that I would grow up with around money. It wasn't definitely wasn't for me. It wasn't for us. It was for the other people. That was really it wasn't like I mean, we'll never have money. It's for other people. But when you start to hear the conversations around things, it's like, and I'm a young kid putting it together. Those conversations were never wasn't ever anything powerful, but it couldn't be anything powerful because my mother didn't have money, right? She didn't have money. She didn't know what to do with money. She didn't know how to budget. She didn't know how to have a ledger, which I don't rock with a ledger. I'm very digital. But I had to learn this stuff, right? I had to learn all of this the information that I have a little bit of more of a grasp on it today. Not fully. I have a decent grasp on understanding money differently, knowing how to get it, knowing how to protect it, knowing what to do with it, right? That was never I never got that conversation. I never got it. And it wasn't a bad thing. I don't feel like I had other conversations going on in my life that were definitely different. They were different. But today I live a different kind of a life, and it's what I want to talk about with my daughter. So I have an advisor. I've had a few advisors. I have an advisor, and normally I keep the advisors away, not for protection, anything like that, away from her. Just adult talks, and I leave her in her room, or sometimes I would even schedule the meetings to occur when she was in school, right? So we would be talking. We see the forms. What is it? A prospectus, and sort of numbers, and this is this, and this is what it is. This is what it was. This is what happened. This is what happened. This is all the stuff. This is what it will be. This age, and this is so hypothetical. Some of it's factual. It's a lot of numbers. It gets to be, there's some words in there that are like, what does that mean? What? Can you talk to me like I'm four? Right? And then there's the numbers are strange. Just a lot of that. And then it's just like future talk and shifting, and we're gonna take some money from here, we're gonna put it over here, and this is accumulated. We could take this much, and it's a lot of that type of stuff, because then you won't be taxed and stuff that was like, okay, I just feel like, okay, yeah. Until I wasn't like, okay, right? And when I woke up out of whatever that was, that almost like a coma, just like really wanting to be like a baby being taken care of. Like, I just want to trust you. Can I just trust you? Can I just give you everything that I have and just trust you to take care of it? Thanks, right? It was a lot of that. And then when it was enough time was happening and certain things were being said, and it was like, hey, buddy, you're a millionaire, don't worry. Some lights started to cut on for me. And it was like, oh, how about you become more responsible? Not making anything about them. They're perfect. Like, seriously. It was me waking up and saying, well, I'm not comfortable with the lack of knowledge I have in a situation. I'm not comfortable with the explanations that I'm getting. I'm not comfortable in this situation. And then, but before I did that, I did the lily pad, right? I had to do the research, kind of like dating, right? Before I leave a relationship, I probably have something in the works, right? So before, it's terrible. I started doing research. I really started researching and looking for people that had a value system that I could relate to. And they spoke like I'm talking to you right now. There's nothing special. There's nothing to not be understood. It's straight and deliberate and direct and intentional. Like I want to be understood right now. I'm looking at the camera right now so you can like see that I'm serious like that. Not no sleight of hand, right? And not that they were sleight of hand, but I was looking for people who were very remedial because it is remedial. But with the lack of money knowledge that I had, it was like an advanced degree course. And then I had to get myself involved in knowing some of these numbers. And it's still, it's simple and then it's still not simple. But my point is, I keep her out of it. And I think I know it's time to bring her in. It's time to bring her into the conversations. So that's, I have a meeting in February, a little bit after my birthday. And it's going to be Zoom, but I'm going to start to bring her in. Because even if she doesn't understand the language now, I mean, it's certain things that are said that's like, what does that mean? I have to be like, what does that mean? But just for her to start to hear it, because it would be like a second language, right? Like, they hear it and you just grow up in it, then you speak 2-3 languages. You speak because it's just what's around you. So I'm ready to start talking to her about, not just about savings, because saving is good. Like Cheyenne has more cash. I told her the other day, I said, you have more cash in this house than almost more than me, right? She got like $900 in cash, like right here. Like right here. Like for real, for what? Because she saves. She really saves. But she spent money for Christmas. She bought some gifts. She bought me a mug. She bought Tasha a mug and she made me a picture of it's one of my favorite jokes that she tells me, and I can't hear it. It's like the interrupting cow is hilarious. Like, what did the cook moo? That interrupting cow always makes me giggle. And what did the snail say on the back of a turtle? And he was like, wee. And it's just so cute to me. And she drew me a turtle with a snail on the back saying "we." Dude, I'm done. I don't need anything else. That's perfect, and it looks good, and it's all the things. But back to her money, she has money, but it's like, well, you could be doing something with that money right now. She could be understanding investments. So like the other day, I bought $100 of Bitcoin just to see what happened. Like less than a month ago, it was like $158 or something like stupid. Like what? What? How did that happen in less than a month? And and those are the things that I don't understand. Like I don't understand what makes that happen. You know what I'm saying? I understand COVID and the scarcity of jobs and people being unemployed and pandemonium and nobody going to work and nobody getting on the train. I understand the workings of the world, how it what's that? What is the word for what I'm doing right there? I'm lowering my hands. It just subsided and got quiet, right? There's definitely a word for that just was like nope. Um, and that's how money did the same thing. Money was like, and I opened up some envelopes and was like, oh, I'm ruined. You know what I'm saying? I'm ruined. I'm ruined. I am nothing. Um, but what do they say? If you're not prepared to keep your money in for 10 years, then you shouldn't put it in for 10 seconds. I think that's Warren Buffett's favorite famous quote. If you're not prepared to put your money in for 10 years, then you shouldn't put it in for 10 minutes. And so I'm in for 10 years, right? At least. But I don't understand what made the Bitcoin in less than 30 days it doubled. It was like it went from $1 because it went down from $1 to $93, $97 for a fee. The fee was $3. And the other day was 147. What makes that happen? What makes that happen? So of course I'm like, oh, if I were to put $10,000 in, it would have doubled. You know what I mean? And it just, but those are the things I want to understand. But I would love for her to now start to be in that world of not stocks and bonds, but understanding money, right? Understanding money. What do they say? If and 70% of people who have wealth, when they die, the next generation, because of their lack of knowledge of wealth, loses it all. I don't want that. I don't want that to happen. That won't be sexy. That would be corny and be like obvious, right? So just in a space of really wanting to understand money in a different way and really taking on her learning about money, because I think it's really powerful and it's important for her to learn about money and me to learn more about money, right? Because I'm not that dude. I mean, I have people, my friends are always asking me, and I realize I am the big fish in this small pond around these people, and I'm a tiny, plankton in this other world where I have other people who really know about money. And I jokingly said, listen, I don't have a lot of money. It's money, but it's like money to us because we don't have money. I said, I can guarantee you, I've had lunch dates with people who if they woke up with my amount of money, they would kill themselves because they would be worth way more dead to their family. And that's facts. So, but I realized that this is a conversation and in a place that I need to go and get stronger, get smarter, because it's just, it is how the world operates. It's financial. Whether it's, you want red bottoms or whether you just want to put it all on your person, right? You want to have it all on. And that's dope. You want to drive it, whatever it is. It doesn't flow like we don't flow. And I'm saying I'm thinking about black people right now. It doesn't flow to a place that is like, how often do I spend my money with a black company that's feeding black children, like a black husband and a wife and a black daughter, right? And because everything is a daughter, right? How often is that can make that happen? That's not an area that I'm strong in. I don't know. I don't know that many companies. I don't know any, actually. I know a couple of people who do some things, but that's not a conversation that I've actually been in a constructive way. It's always the hypothetical. That's what we need to do. Well, how? How do we do that? And I bring that up because I do spend money with people who don't look anything like me and could care less about me, and they don't spend money on people like me at all, and they don't uplift my community and all of that, right? It is something that I realized the other day. I've been called, I was called an Uncle Tom by a black person, right? Because, and I'm laughing because when they said it, I was like, what? I was like, yeah, you know what you're like? You're like the black person on a white sitcom. For real? And I was like, wow, really? Yeah, because I'm neutral on a lot of race things. I listen and I'm like, Like, I'm not going to just jump up and throw the black hoodie on and run out and get a marker and some cardboard. That's just, no. I'll be like, well, I can understand that. Oh, because I want to understand what's happening. Like, I need to make these unfortunate situations make sense. And now, lately, in the last few months, they haven't been explainable. It's blatant. It's just blatant disregard for the lives of black men and women. That's just blatant. But there's other things that are like, maybe not so blatant. Maybe, what would it look like for me to take on the thoughts that person would have had in that situation? And if I do that, can I possibly see that there is a gray area that makes that okay? That makes something that seems disrespectful or seems like it's privilege. It seems like, can I do I have it in myself? The answer is yes, enough to say, let me think what that was. Because remember, I'm gonna hit you in your head with a mug. So I've been self-taught to train to really think before I react to, and so I give everybody that same liberty. So it's in that space of giving that liberty that I've been called, an Uncle Tom, or a white character in a black show, a black character in a white show, which I think is even worse. That's even worse. Because I don't think Uncle Tom is what people think it is. I don't really think it is. I think we don't give certain characters enough credit. Now, don't I'm not Terry Crews in this right now. I'm not trying to make Uncle Tom cool. That's I'm not doing it cool. No, I'm not owning our own narrative. No, I'm good. What is it? What is cool? He said controlling our own narrative. I'm good on that. You can have that one. You can have that one. Big giant muscular guy. you know. But I'm not trying to make Uncle Tom cool. But I'm saying, like, was there a reason for his behavior? Can we see a possibility for his behavior? I don't know. I never read it. I just know it's used around to be disrespectful to black people who do things that may be out of the norm. But I know I'm not Uncle Tom. Whatever, any way we say it, I know I'm not. I know I'm not. But I was, my feelings were a little bit hurt. I was a little bit hurt. So, but my point was, since I've been doing this, there's a flow, a narrative that's coming up for me, and there is, I'm finding issue with some of the spaces, right, in the world, in my environment, on television, in where I live, just in America, finding issue with the treatment of people of color. I'm gonna pour Ice Cube with the treatment of black people. I didn't have that the same way, or I didn't know that was something that I wanted to speak about at the lengths that I have. That's not my everyday talk. And it's not. I don't know what my everyday talk was. It definitely was about black man loving a black woman, black family, which is still at my core super important. It's important. It's important to support the woman. Support, and for her to support him, but she will. And what did somebody say to me? Well, they not all women are just like men. They try to get it in too. I'm like, well, you need different women. I mean, I got that, but that's on average. I mean, there's a bunch of cute nicknames that people use for women all the time, right? There's all kinds of verbs and whatever. What do you call it? The thoughts, and there's all kinds of stuff, right? And some women live into that, and they want it, and they own it. It's cool. That's cool. I have nothing to say about that. But I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the women that will sacrifice their time and their possible growth to hold you down, to allow you to catch up so you can build something together. So, because that sometimes is there, right? That, and I'm speaking for me, really. The women I've been with tend to be, I was so far behind that they all had a edge, and it was like, I guess, come on. And it was like, just do the right thing. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but you're so darn witty, but whatever it is, the boy got tricks. But all of that, it's like, just come on, and then it would be like, oh, this is it. Now, of course, at some point I started feeling myself. I'm like, oh, look at me, yeah, look at my teeth now. Oh, got a couple of degrees. Oh, you know what I'm saying? And that had to be worked out. That had to be stomped out and corrected. It's like readjusting your back. It's like, oh, I had to do that a little bit and spill out and be simple. But at the end of the day, it was really about that support, that love, and that building up, giving her the space, whoever the her is, right? The space to be fantastic. So she could go out and just be fantastic. Go lawyer, like my girlfriend now. Go lawyer. Do your thing. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me, get out of my face, but like, you don't have to worry about me. And me actually creating a space where she knows she doesn't have to worry about me. So she could go out and be great. And not saying because she's worried about me that makes demeans her. No, that's game. That's game. When women like, I don't care. You care. Of course you care. Now, it's dope if you don't have to care, right? Because if you don't care, then why? Why don't you care? Why don't you care what I'm doing? Right? Because there's that too. But anyway, that's initially where my space was. And I think it's still there, but there's other things that are coming up, and it's this the disempowerment, the disempowering context to which I've lived in a long time as far as being a black man in this America. And I see other people who remind me of that thing that's in me. And degrees and money and all of that in the same context. That I just see a lot of what I'm thinking now, because a bunch of curses came up, and I was like, I had perfect curses that would actually state, you would know what I was talking about. But and since I didn't curse, it's like, well, then how do you say it? I don't know how to say it. Unworkability. It's been a lot of unworkability, right, in the systems, and a lot of conversations that we've been forced to have. I've been forced to have conversations with white people, telling them about ways that they could help me, or what have they done to wrong me. And I have that doesn't work. Like, I wouldn't talk to a victim, right, and ask them, how did I victimize you? Let me bring up your trauma and get you to tell me how not to do that. Just don't do it, And they don't want to do it anyway. They don't, and they do it with an attitude. So it's and it's true. It really has been really odd. Like, you got an attitude right now. And she had a lot of it. She had to do a lot of talking, and she was nervous to share the truth, because at the end of the day, this is over. You realize that the movement, this Black Lives Matter movement, has moved on. Is there anyone who acknowledges that? That's why I was like, I don't like the whole idea of it being a movement, because it has moved on. The NBA had it all on the basketball courts last year. They had it on the back. That's done. That's all. It has moved on. We've done it. Are you not satisfied? Are you not entertained? Yes, we did what we had to do. Are you happy now? Jesus, are you ever happy? You know what I mean? Like, are you happy? Are you good? Okay, watch it. And it has moved on. And it'll rally back up. Then some black man gets shot, killed in Ohio the other day. This goes unknown. I mean, it's just endless. It's endless. And still we rise, and I still got to make breakfast, and we still act like it's normal, and I still got to, got the paper out front that I didn't get for the last 2 days. That's kind of just under the door. All the things. And we just pretend, or I just pretend like life is normal. And it's not, though. That's the thing. It's not. That's not normal. It's not normal. I spoke yesterday, or the day before, about Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and the Black experience. Black experience is something that I'm interested in working and finding a way to not be emotional about it, but to allow others to understand that, yes, we are in the same place at the same time. We're on the same exact line. The treatment from the teller towards me, black man, and you, white woman, white man, is different sometimes. Not all the time, sometimes. And I notice it all the time. Or the way that the waiter behaves, or the person at the bank that I'm talking to about a loan, or the person looking at my resume when they see Samin compared to a whatever name, right? Because that's an ethnic name. It's, a Rahim or Kahim, or those names, those types of names. That there's a difference. And it's a difference in the treat. And that needs to be done gently. I think it should be done gently. I don't want to throw the mask on and ram it down somebody's throat, because it's like, whoa, it's like teaching, right? So you got to teach people. So I'm at the risk of being the black character in a white show, right? I'm still very much into that, but I'm getting, and maybe it's what's happening with this climate. This is a weird climate with old boy with the pardons. But oh boy, it's a weirder than normal climate. And it's definitely been an air of, I'm not letting you in. I'm driving, I'm not letting you in now. I don't have to do that. That little gangster, like I was gonna say a bad kid, but like a kid when their parent comes with the babysitter, and the babysitter's like, sit down, and they're like, my mother's here, keep bugging. I'm doing cartwheels across your couch right now. It's like, oh, you've been perfect the whole time. No. So anyway, I'm going on and on. Listen, I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me. Merry Christmas. I'm sure it's past Christmas right now. The day after Christmas yet? Yes. It is past 12 o'clock. I hope you got everything you wanted. Hope you did everything you wanted. Hope you spent time with family. I talked to my family in Canada. Some of them were out. Talked to my mother-in-law. And she told me they're on a third wave. And they really like shutting, like in her condo, they shut it all down. Like no visitor. Like I don't know if it's the condo or it's the prime minister. That's what I didn't ask. Like they shut it down, like no visitors, period. And I'm like, okay, that's something. But meanwhile, America is like, fly wherever you want to go. You know what I mean? Like, go, just wear your mask. Go as many of you as you want to. It's a different country, though. Different country. Anyway, more will be revealed. Thank you for hanging out with me. This is your boy, Samin. I like boy. I like boy. Hang on. I like boy. I like the way it sounds. That's how I talk. Yo, this is your main man. Nah, no. Hey, this is your boy Samin. I'm the host of the Sam Myers Show. I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me on this Christmas edition. I thought about doing it like, what's his name? Nat King Cole. But then I got caught up with Cyan playing that daggone game all day. But I wanted to come in with the suit and be like, suave and put some new now in my bed or something with music playing, looking dapper. But I chose this. Anyway, I thank y'all for hanging out with me. Love, love, love your daughters. I hope you had a good time. I hope you did something great today. If you celebrate Christmas, you might not even celebrate. It's like, dude, I don't even celebrate Christmas. I don't know why you're going on with that. What happened to Kwanzaa? Or nothing. I celebrate nothing. So I'm happy holidays. If you got to be with your families, I'm really happy for you. If you got a big family, you didn't get to be with other people. I get that too. My girlfriend went to go see her mom's. She was like, "Oh, I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not going nowhere. I'm chilling." I wouldn't go see my mother. She was like, I'll be like, nah. FaceTime. Anyway, I'm going. Love, love, love your daughters. Thank you for hanging out with me just a little bit. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know if I'm ever stopping. I think I'm doing another 90. And then that'll be 6 months. What do you think? All right. Peace.